Anyway, let me start off. I was thinking about Revelation. And I was thinking, what if it's just a reset? And I was thinking about the booty magic. And one thing that I learned from doing drugs is that certain drugs are built to make sure for a fact you have a chemical imbalance and to damage the pineal glands. So much so to it numbs it, damage it, and make you unable to be, you will be invisible to your ancestors. If you are invisible to your guardian angels, then how would you get blessed? How would they be able to bless you if you are invisible? So what does this mean? Somehow they figured out this a long time ago. Look at what people do for drugs. Look at how much they get rid of. Look at how much they sacrifice for drugs. So how we know that people that long time ago that was in power didn't figure out format plans to make up for this loss? What I mean by that is that when they got on the drugs, normally when you get on certain drugs, you lose your lovers. Then you have to accept the way the energy goes is that you have to accept lower vibrational lovers. Well, people don't want these. Maybe they didn't want these lovers. They want to continue to get high vibrational lovers. In order to do that, they would have had to come up with a format to actually steal somebody else's energy so that they could get those kind of lovers. Now, people will say a person like me talk too much. But I, for one, know everybody gossip too much. Gossiping or talk too much. It's about what you talk about. You don't like what I'm talking about because it's freedom. It's the voice of freedom. This is God's voice. God gave me, that's my 144,000 chosen one gift. That's one of them. God's voice. My voice is to free you from bondage. So of course I'm gonna overly talk. Of course I'm gonna explain these particular events and situations because it's freeing people. As you can see, I'm not free, but it's freeing you. I'm the sacrifice to help free you. So I'm not getting nothing out of this. Well, I am from God. In the spiritual, definitely. I work for God. And I need us all to look at this. So if the revelation is asking, let's say the revelation is really based on resetting, rebooting. Wouldn't resetting, rebooting would be alleviating all of the experiments and programs that is keeping our people in bondage, sacrificing people, killing people? Because I, for one, knows when you sacrifice one body, it sets off something in the atmosphere that the whole earth tremble from it. Look at all the murder. We done got so many murders. We done built experiments to continue the murders illegally, legally. This is beautiful. This is something you should want to overhear because you ain't gonna get this all the time. People like me only come so often. You can say once in a blue moon. It's a window of time when people like me come around. And when people like me come around, it's time for you to listen. It's even time for me to listen. These are downloads from God. These are not something I fabricated. These are not something that I created. These are downloads from God. These freed me. Even though I'm still in this situation, it freed me in such a way that I feel free. Don't you want to feel free? Whether you're wealthy or poor, don't you want to feel free? Even some of you wealthy folks done participated in these games so long you didn't even realize these games is the reason that you can't be happy with your money. These games is the reason that you can't be humble with your money. These games is the reason that you feel uncomfortable with your money. These games is the reason you are scared of death with your money. So we gotta ask ourselves, what if it is a reboot? If it is, just like the streets for me sowing my royal oats for me, overly indulging in the streets to the point where I was ready to get out the streets. And once I was ready to get out the streets, I successfully got out the streets, even if that meant me being poverty broke in these streets. So of course I'm overtalk. You need to listen. You need to overly listen. Normally when people whisper stuff like that and say stuff like that, they don't want to hear what I'm saying. Let me explain. When I'm in the streets and I'm explaining this to people that don't want to hear, what my brother like to say is casting pearls to swine, but when you're stuck in the streets, you have to somewhat cast these pearls to swine, because you're gonna be stuck in these streets. You in your north node and you're stuck in the south node in the streets. So you're gonna have to somehow cast these pearls to swine. Why are you casting these pearls to swine? Because when you cast these pearls to swine, it's the ones that's going to complain about what you're saying. It's the ones that's gonna hate what you're saying. It's the one that's gonna say you talking too much because of what you're saying. You need that because you're around amongst a bunch of killers, rapists, dealers, prostitute, thugs, the worst people in the world that you could be around. So when you cast these pearls to these people, the ones who don't pick up the pearls and acknowledge the pearls and don't want to hear the pearls, that's gonna be a alarm beacon to a person like me that's stuck in the streets to not deal with these group of people. And now y'all saying, well, you done said it, now they gonna know how to go around it. You can't go around real. Because a demon can't stand to be around real. A demon can't stand to be around light. A demon can't stand to be around love. So if you speak on love too much, you speak on growth too much, you speak on creativity too much, you speak on good vibes and good things too much, they gon' shake within their body. Peace can't be still within themselves. Now everybody's not gonna like me. I can't catch every box. So a lot of y'all, even once I'm finished doing this for God, it's gonna be a lot of people who don't like me. And that's part of the program. It ain't my job to get a lot of people to like me. It ain't my job to get half the people to like me. It ain't my job to get 5 to 10 to 25% of the people to like me. It's my job to get God to like me, to get God to love me, or to make sure God keep loving me. If you will hang Jesus Christ, then you will definitely hang me without batting an eye. See, I'm wanting to know this experiment is meant to work you to death. And then they can just reach in your bucket, pull all that out your bucket, and be glad that they put you to death. But I want you to understand this, those of you who are stealing out of them buckets. Go to the previous people who stole out them buckets and say, where are they at? How are they doing today? I can pretty much guarantee, just because of how I've been reading energy in the last 5 years, the vast majority of those people are not even here, and they should be still here. And if they are here, they are crazy. And it's been better off if they wasn't ever even here. This is the voice of God. The 144,000, the chosen one don't woke up. So if you gonna question their moves, downplay their moves, hate the way they move, then obviously you are one of the ones that I throw these pearls to. You are one of the ones that I'm gonna throw these pearls to, because if you don't pick up these pearls, if you don't acknowledge these pearls, if you don't like these pearls, because unlike my brother Jesus Christ, we are living in a complete perverse world. If you don't acknowledge these pearls, then that's my sign to watch you, not deal with you. For you is probably surrounded by bad karma. And in your head, you thinking you don't want to deal with me because of this or that. But to my energy, you are on demon mode, demon time. And I ain't even supposed to be shaking your hand, more or less around you. So if I'm stuck in a position because of an experiment to be in my north node, but forced to stay in my south node to deal with people like you that I'm around, the best thing that I can do to secure my life while I'm around you is cast you this knowledge of pearls. And if you choose not to pick them up off the ground and leave them on the ground, and then not only leave them on the ground, but down, then that's my light. That's my cue on not to be around you. So just like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that was just a basic form of that format. That was just a basic instruction of a blueprint of that format. Booty magic. The beautiful thing about this is that nobody, this is why I'm finna help elevate the whole world. God created nobody to be alone. Go read the Bible. Go read the Bible and find somebody that's alone. Even Jesus didn't say he was alone, because Jesus knew he wasn't alone, because Jesus knew he had God the whole time, all alone. And if it was anybody in the Bible to say that they was alone, the only one that you could even bring up in the Bible that could say that they was alone would have been Jesus Christ. And he knew better to say he was alone. And that's your proof of a God existence. Bringing knowledge here, bringing wisdom here to teach you, to build you, a better you. So I will repeat myself again. If we are living in Revelation and it's time for it to reboot, wouldn't you rather for it to reboot than to get rid of you? Than for Revelation to plague you? The apocalypse to grave you? Isn't it beautiful that God giving us a chance to reboot? So I shouldn't be in here fighting for myself. You should be fighting for me to make sure that the whole world focus on this reboot, because if we stop today and we free people like me today, we still got to put a whole lot of work in to see to that make sure that we reboot, because it's going to be hard work and dedication to make sure that this earth reboot, because it's going to take all of that energy. We got to fix all of that energy. We've been living off this energy. We've been eating off this energy. We've been feeding off this energy. We've been depending on this energy more than we've been depending on God's energy. So now we gotta ask ourselves, I'm good, thank you anyway. I'm good, thank you anyway. This is God's energy. This is God's energy. This is God's energy. So you gotta ask yourself, is you God's child or is you God's enemy? That's what you have to ask yourself. Are you going to acknowledge the fact that you're God's child, or are you God's enemy? Because we all are one body in Christ. We all belong to God. All of this belong to God. Everything that's of the earth belong to God. I am that I am. God. So you're worried about the words I say. You need to ask yourself and question yourself, because you gossip every day. You talk about the wrong stuff every day. You need to ask yourself, is it this petty gospel? Is it this petty gossip I meant? Bearing false witness against your neighbors. Is this what's keeping you in this poverty state? Or is it positive words that a person like me can say? Because I'm telling you how to build yourself, to elevate, to pray and meditate. I lost everything illegally, legally. My son, my security, my foundation, even the cars I drive. And for some reason, I'm still able to have a genuine smile on my face. And I'm still able to pray and meditate every day. And I'm still able to save every day. Every time I get on here and I do a lecture from God, I'm helping y'all elevate and save y'all soul every day. It's nothing no greater to be able to be whatever situation that you are in whatever department you are in this earth, and preserve your soul in every way. I've been in the streets and I preserved my soul. I've been amongst the killer, the dealer, the prostitute, the thugs, and the gangsters, and I preserved my soul. I've been in the dark, had to stay in the dark, was forced to stay in the dark, and I preserved my soul. Try it out. It's things you don't like about your life. If you don't like the words that's coming out my mouth, well, work on your mouth. Like I said, the last thing they say, the man detained the tongue. Well, try it out. Work on it. Speak lesser and lesser every day on about negative stuff about your neighbors. And how do you transmute that energy? Because you know now, at this point, you know you talk too much. How do you transmute that energy? By talking positive about yourself and your neighbors. Uplifting yourself and your neighbors. Congratulating yourself and your neighbors. To the point that you ain't even gonna worry about your neighbors no more, and you gonna focus on yourself. Amen.